Good morning and good afternoon, um, everyone. Depends where are you joining the call from. Thank you for attending our session on your busy day uh, and tuning in to listen as we will be sharing some details about SAP BW modernization with DataSphere. In our workshop, we will discuss some of the latest innovations in the SAP DataSphere and other state-of-art BI tools with some Gen AI flavors. Though it's an infant stage, but still we will share some of the capabilities of the Gen AI and analytics feature. This workshop will show you how you can think about modernization of your current BW and BI platform. So I hope you will find that useful information for you. Let's go to agenda. Um, Here is an outline for how our today's conversation will proceed. So I'll be I will be sharing some of the insights on path to modern cloud analytics using SAP DataSphere and modernization strategy with some assessment. Um, After me, followed by Abhishek S. Jain, who is based out of Chicago. He's a director. We'll be presenting the business data fabric and hybrid data access in DataSphere. Also, he will be showing a real demo where transferring live data from S4 to DataSphere and then to the external cloud via replication flow. Um, Mahindra will join us. He is our DataSphere architect. He is one of the gems we have. He will demonstrate the SSE dashboards on DataSphere with the real-time integration with S4 and AFO reporting. Business users loves the real-time data in Excel, so we will be seeing slice and dicing in Excel with the real-time world using the DataSphere. Verma, who wrote books on HANA, the very deep experienced, he will be presenting some of the data discovery along with the AI capability in the data sphere. Tagore, he's our director in analytics team from India office, covering the analytics integration with reporting and dashboard. He'll be doing the live connect of S4 to DataSphere, consuming some data through SSE using the AI feature like Just Ask. Then I will be back on the presentation where we will be sharing our Haynes story. We went live about 15 months ago with the DataSphere. Haynes is one of the very early adopters for DataSphere. Where we can look at that, how that journey is, our lessons learned, how that is integrated with S4, MDG, cars, and other systems. Then we will be finally concluding our sessions with some of our offerings to you, like a training workshops or the upcoming pilot programs and question and answer session to conclude. Please feel free, and if you have any questions in the teams live teams here, there is a Q&A section. You can post your questions, and some of the question depends on the time availability. We can answer today, or we can follow up and get back to you guys. So during the session, feel free, if you have a questions, you can post it here. Let's start with some of the speaker intros. So a little bit about myself so that you know me beyond my name. I'm managing the SAP Enterprise Data Warehouse practice and the TPM practice for TechLink. I've been with TechLink more than 20 years and working mostly in the SAP world. I'm responsible for the global delivery excellence in TechLink and manage a lot of innovations along with the SAP umbrella suites of technologies. I'm based out of Chicago and a frequent speaker on some of the conferences like SAP Insider, TechHead. I didn't speak for last few years though, but that is one of my favorite tech conference. Of course, Sapphire and some of the other events. we are here to help and share some experience on our modernization and initiatives into the data sphere. So some of my colleagues, I would request them to introduce themselves. Over to you, Abhishek, please.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abhishek Jain. I am a director in TechLink, US based. I'm located on the Chicago location. I have a working 20-year plus of experience in SAP and cloud technologies. I especially work on the integration side between SAP and non-SAP platforms. And also I'm handling the innovation team. I lead the innovation team in the TechLink. Thanks, everyone. Now, please, Tagore, please introduce yourself. Thank you.
Thanks, Abhishek and Praveen. Yeah, hi everyone. This is Tagore Reddy. I have been working for the TechLink last 10 plus years, with overall having 20 plus years of experience in the software industry, primarily in the SAP. Started with SAP BW, and my journey is with BW for HANA and S4 HANA, and latest with DataSphere and SAC. I work as a architect, and also I'm part of the learning and development for the SAP technologies team actually, and I primarily work with mainly CPG, manufacturing, BFSI, and pharma clients. Okay, thank you. Welcome for the webinar. Varma, over to you.
Hi everyone. Good morning. Good evening. So I basically work on SAP data and analytics technologies, starting from BW, ABAP, and then HANA, DataSphere, and BTP. So I manage the practice from offshore. So I actually happen to be in one of the first implementations for Haynes on the DataSphere front. And definitely it was an exciting journey at that point. It was relatively new tool. So I'm very excited to have you all in this session and share some of those experiences. So yeah, apart from that, we have we are excited. All of us are excited to share our insights and take your feedback and questions. So thank you. Over to Mahindra.
Thanks, Varma. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Myself, Mahendra, based out of TechLink India office. I'm an architect in the analytics space with overall of around 15 years of experience with SAP Analytics. And I was also one of the one of the member for implementing DataSphere as a part of the Haynes implementation. So looking forward to present our experiences and take your feedback and share some of our experience and learnings as a part of the implementation. Thank you. Vishwa, over to you.
Thanks, Mahindra. Hello, everyone. Welcome to BW Modernization workshop. I'm having around 12 years of experience in SAP, worked on various technologies like DataSphere, SAC, ABAP, all the technical areas. And I was part of Haynes DataSphere implementation, and even currently we are supporting it along with other multiple implementations and support projects. Thank you for joining the session.
Excellent, Vishwa. Thank you so much. Excited to look forward with our this journey. So let's start. How to modernize BW and why? Some of the modernization strategy, business data layer, hybrid data connections, some of the data governance and compliance part, change management adoptions, analytics integration, data exploration. That's what we will be discussing. So why SAP DataSphere? SAP DataSphere is all about stepping up from the usual data warehouse game, offering a business semantic service that works across a different clouds and sources. It's a perfect for companies that are all in the cloud computing and make their operations simpler, more adaptable, quicker, and see the results fast. Basically, SAP DataSphere is like a analytics ready data warehouse service that made for both the business folks and the IT crowd. So a lot of simplicity there. It gives you a straight shot to your data with ready to go business content. Like if you have used the BW in the past, you know how rich SAP is for the business content. They are one of the best. And that's keep scaling up. You can leverage a lot of BW for HANA related content in the data sphere, and you can pull across from the different application areas or functional areas as a form of business content. So very, very rich. Um, let's look at some key features of SAP DataSphere. I know you probably be aware most of it, but I will share some of the key ones. Next slide, please. So data warehousing and federation. So data warehousing and data federations means business folks can look at and dig into the data from the bunch of different places. Different systems can be integrated, and that gives them a full picture without having the copy and move the data. So some of them is a real-time access to that, and that can be well integrated. Business content, I just spoke about it. If your source system is like S4 HANA or SuccessFactors or MDG, and many more SAP umbrella software, business content is something very rich. It goes seamlessly across the data source to the model to the SAC visualization. Um, Semantic modeling and analytics model let business users set up and meaningful analytics and dashboard in a way. Because of some of virtual layering, it will be so easier to model, and that can be a big advantage with the data sphere. Solid data cataloging will open more meaning for the business users. Uh, Data cataloging is yet not mature, to be super honest, in the data sphere, but it gives a lot of value to it, and it is maturing with the newer and newer version. But there is a place where you can look at a different definitions of the dimensions and KPIs at one place. Finally, applications and data integration means you can fit insights into what you're already doing into the real time and make things smoother without messing up with the system you have got going. So these are some of the key features I wanted to highlight. There are many more things that the team will show to you in the system also. So please, next slide. If you're thinking your current BW system with the DataSphere journey, there are many more comparison points would like to go over. That would be really helpful, we think so. So BW on HANA or BW for HANA, I don't think anyone now remained without the HANA, but there might be. So you can consider BW or BW on HANA same bucket. So BW on HANA, BW for HANA, and DataSphere, what are the key comparisons? So core technology, the table compresses with the evaluation of the technology from traditional BW tool to the native HANA tool to the DataSphere. Some of the introduction years like 2012, it's started BW on HANA. BW was there before, and then BW for HANA introduced, think about it, about 8 years already now, and then DataSphere comes, initially DataSphere comes as a DWC, Data Warehouse Cloud, and then that's been rebranded to the DataSphere with a lot more capability. Deployment perspective, there are that can be an on-premise or cloud. ETL capability perspective, it's a classic BW tools. With the BW for HANA, you can use ODP technology as well. Versus in the data sphere, there are many cloud connector capabilities, and SDI is available. You can use that, and that will give you a flavor of real-time processing. Data visualization with BW on HANA, you go with the back queries, and the BW for HANA is also back queries limited. You can use that. What says in the data sphere, you can consume directly HANA views into the analysis for Office. Is very popular, and the SAC is naturally with the real time connected with the live connect is available to you. Analytics integration and scalability is again with the traditional BI tools are available for analytics integration, and limited to the hardware perspective. So there are more points. I don't have to go line by line. There are upgrade paths. So BW on HANA is having their I think support and maintain is going to be sunsetting soon from SAP perspective. But if you are on BW for HANA, it's a journey. It's going to be continue. I think till 2040 is available. AI ML features are going to be more richer and richer into the data sphere, and then integration with the native HANA memory is also be available, and we can use built on it's a cloud based behind the scene that is a very faster columnar storage, so it give you one of the best performance. Let's go to the next slide. So like I said, there are more features. These slide decks will be shared with you guys. User interface perspective, SAP GUI is supported in on HANA. What says in DataSphere, it's all web-based. Licensing perspective, SAP is making it more cheaper for SAP DataSphere. You can grow as you need. And this year they have a very special discounts. I'm not the right person to talk about the licensing, but certainly you can look back and it's very, very competitive pricing perspective. Target users, of course, business friendly, the seamless integration in the data sphere is getting more and more modern and agile for the adoption perspective. Then some of the types of solutions like traditional data warehouse is the way to go on the BW, like your development cycles are more stringent and transfer process versus in DataSphere, a lot of virtualization will give you a lot more speed into that. I can skip some of these points, but definitely I'll give a pause for 5 seconds if you just want to take a look, and then definitely this material will be shared with you guys. Next slide, please. So challenges and consideration to transition to data sphere. So some of our lessons learned, what type of challenges you are thinking right now, why you need to start thinking about data sphere. So many BW customers on BW 7.5 or earlier need to move and plan an upgrade due to end of maintenance. So like I said, 2027 or 2030, one of those, and then these dates need to be re-verified with the OSS node because it's a some time SAP decided to give additional maintenance window or something like that. So that could be a one challenge you need to consider. These includes uncertain value of potential solutions like waiting for clarity on SAP strategy sometimes for that, those type of challenges. If you don't know what to happen on the BW side and some integration point of view, sometimes you have a challenges on the resources constraint, difficulty in defining the scope and state, cost benefit estimations, time planning, risk management. Those are the few challenges you may need to consider for the project perspective. Then some of the challenges for consideration for the transition, it is important to consider the definition, the destination options. Like if are you thinking about BW for HANA journey or a data sphere or an hybrid approach? Nothing wrong or right. Depends what your current footprint is, how you wanted to scope it, and how you want to migrate. So scope for migration includes some of the artifact, consolidation, reporting, implementation strategy, and some of the technical limitations you need to consider. Can you go to the next slide, please? BW modernization strategy and assessment. We need to look a little more deeper into it. What's our strategic focus? So strategic focus is SAP DataSphere. It's a cloud-based and it does have BW capabilities via BW Bridge and you got a lot of modern architecture where you can build your data warehouse. So SAP DataSphere is now to go choice for handling the data warehouse and management stuff in the public cloud. You can pick any of these. This means we are moving towards using the cloud more, thinking previous slide only. um, why it is cool to switch, right? So we need to talk uh, some of the we need to talk up some of the switching to the data spheres, like being able to scale and easier, having the better performance, and getting access to some of the sleek analytics tools is all part of the your modernization strategy if you're thinking about the data sphere. Yeah, Tagore, go to the next slide, please. Modernizing SAP BW with SAP DataSphere requires a strategic approach to enhance the data management. I broke it down in some steps. So, firstly, assess your current setup and plan the improvement to ensure a smooth transition. Then, second step you can consider is upgrading or migration with the latest what you're thinking in the BW to the next generation. Cloud adoption can offer the scalability and flexibility. You need to think about data integration and connectivity with the modern tools and significantly improve your data management capabilities. Step 5 can be your optimize performance through model design and tuning to meet the demand and the modern data analytics. Then you can look at the point, incorporate what's your advanced analytics and AI capability, gain deeper insights and drive innovation. And then strengthen your data governance and security measures. Think about that point. Improve your user experience, enable the self-service analytics, empower your users with the data-driven decision making. And the ninth one I would say is implement change management and training programs, facilitate adoption. So finally, to establish a framework for a continuous improvement to stay ahead with your evolving of the data landscape. So that you can think about, this is a complete modernization strategy while you are exploring the data sphere. Next slide, please. So what makes you your BW system complex? Check your SAP. Next slide, please. Check your BW system for complexity perspective before upgrading to SAP DataSphere. Explore some of the info object, providers, multi-providers complexity. You need to use advanced modeling like layered scalable architecture, LSA, LSA++. Discuss the custom ABAP coding and data extractors. Reporting feature looks like what source systems are connected for the ETL process. Your footprint onto the backs and business object. You need to discuss the usage of advanced analytics features wherever it's applicable, and emphasize a strong aggregation segmentation plan, and then governance. Some of the highlight operational processes, discussing about the managing the historical data and data retention, how big it is, and nearline storage options. So these are very, very important points to assess before you are thinking about your modernization of the platform with SAP BW system, because it's a history for I don't know, with our customer base, it's more than 15-20 years footprint into the BW. So just wanted to highlight, we need to start assessing and looking closely that can be create more complexity, and we can think to transition that. I'm almost done, guys. This is the last slide. So what's the current state assessment for your existing SAP BW, right? So evaluate the current BW system, like I said in my previous slide, in different application areas and in performance, ensure they meet the business needs. Then we need to check for hardware, software design perspective, include the server, network, database, all those points. Then examine the SAP BW models with the complexity perspective, and data integration and connectivity perspective. Then user adoption. Some of the new analytics is a part of your new modernization platform. That's what we need to consider with the business alignment. So if you're thinking about SSC or a Power BI or analysis for Office, those kind of consideration that need to be assessed with a modernization perspective and take decision accordingly. So Abhishek, over to you now for the next topic and looking forward for an exciting demo.
Thanks, Praveen. Okay. So the next topic is business data fabric and hybrid data access. So as now, we are getting data from multiple sources and platforms, so we need to make sure that we have to integrate data into a one platform for the better handling and security and governing, and also as a one source of the truth. So here the data sphere play a good role to integrate the data from the different platform, because not like a traditional SAP, but here in a data sphere, we have a flexibility to connect with the non-SAP sources and targets. So the business data fabric is an architectural approach for managing, integrating, and analysis distributed data across the various systems and platforms. So we can do the step by step for this business data fabric. The first step is data integration. So now we can combine the data using the ETLs, and also now with the data sphere, we have some of the inbuilt source connections, like different system connection, including non-SAP sources. So that also are advanced features that we don't may not use to always go for external ETL tool for the integration. We can use internal data spheres connections to make sure to connect with a different system. I will walk through all these connections also in my demo after some slides. The second step is data management. Like as we are getting data from different sources, we have to ensure that the quality and consistency of the data and any transformations or the governance is required, we can do certainly there. And also the data tiering options, like for the storage perspective wise, to make sure it is hot, cold, warm accordingly, that is also part of the data management. The third step is unified data access. So this also important to connect with the like a reporting and dashboarding tools like Analysis Office, SSE, and also non-SAP dashboard tools like Power BI, Tableau. So this and the different language like SQL, Python. So this is important for the business data fabric, that we have a unified data access that is also included into DataSphere. And also we need to make sure we are getting data from different places. So it should be the data should be consistent and it is timely loaded, and the sequence or schedule will be properly managed. So that automation is very important part and steps to make sure the data quality and streamlined workflows. Last but not least, the governance and security. As we know that a lot of our finance data, HR data, and other data, we need a different type of governance and security is required to make sure that it is properly implementing the controls, encryptions, and auditing the protected data, and ensure that the compliance is being properly achieved. So that's why it's like all the data will be the part into a one system as a one source of the truth. So this is like a high level architecture flow for the business data fabric. The top layer is a consumption layer, which have like a different reporting and dashboard tools, as well as the different applications and services like Jupyter Notebook, detailed services. All that will be part of the data consumption layer. We start with the bottom layer, where we have like a different domain, like, or different sources, where we have an enterprise data warehouse is directly like the ETL will be there, and we are using for reporting and dashboard. The other flavor is we are getting data from the different data lakes and as a raw format also. So here we convenient to use the raw layers, and then raw data we can properly transform and store, and then utilize and combine with other data sources to get it properly for the report and dashboarding applications. The third concept is a data lake house, which is nothing but the combination of our central data warehouse and data lake, where we have get all the flavors of the data, including the raw data, where we can utilizing it for the dashboard and digital services purpose, and also for data science purpose for the AI and ML. The fourth component here is like our S4 HANA, which is have a embedded BWs is there, where we use Fury, SSE, or ABAP reports as a for the consumption perspective wise. So like all the kinds of this structured and unstructured data or the semi-structured data, it's on premise or on the cloud, is all we can utilize as a source and like load into the data sphere for further our analytical application purposes. So the main advantage is that for the business data fabric as a data consumer perspective wise, the we have a one place where can we discover the data, consume it, and share and distribute it across other applications also. So it's not like that we are getting data from SAP and non-SAP, but we can send also data to SAP and non-SAP and other cloud platforms from the data sphere. So it's open partner ecosystem extensions. So it is, that's why like we can use a lakehouse, AI ML, cataloging, streaming, everything we can utilize in the data sphere. From the governance perspective wise, the metadata management, the lineage, the privacy, and the quality of the data we can govern in the data sphere side. Modeling and self-service, now with like a business need a sales service, some tools and technologies to make sure that they can like query their own questions and get the answers. So in the data sphere, we have a business semantics where the business can interact and with the predefined architect data marts or the tables where business can make their own analytical applications to consume it for their own purposes. Data integration and preparations. So like semantic onboarding, real-time replication and federations, it's all available in the data sphere. So with the real-time applications, there are certain limitations that which application will support the real-time or not. Like for example, on the S4 HANA, the CDS views as a source, we can available for the real-time as well as if you have a SLT, that is SAP landscape transformations, that integration available in your environment, then you can use a real-time replication to replicate data from different sources into the data sphere. Now we move to the hybrid data access. Now, as we are talk about that, we can integrate with SAP and non-SAP tools and platforms. So now how it will work? So on the left side, all the existing SAP like a BW for HANA, SAP BW Bridge, SAP S4 HANA, ECC, SuccessFactor, SAP Concur, all different SAP systems is available for the act as a source to the data sphere, which is already available with the current versions. Other non-SAP platforms and tools like Flatfile, Google BigQuery, Amazon Redshift, Amazon S3 Bucket, Azure Data Lake, Hadoop, OData Connections, Oracle, SQL Server, all that is available for the non-SAP tools and platform to integrate with the data sphere side. So we are getting the data from different connections. We have in the data sphere, we have a data builder and a modeling things there where we can develop the views which join with a different system or different tables. We are developed an analytical model, data flows, and that we can provide to the business either for them for to build their own business models based on the IT-driven building modeling tools, and all directly consumed from the dashboard and reporting tools like SSE or Power BI, etc. So this all we can properly can driven in the data sphere side to integrate and consume it into the different systems. So SAP, as we discussed, that SAP DataSphere integrate data from SAP non-SAP sources, providing a unified platform, a single source of truth for accessing and analyzing diverse data, which is spread across structured as well as raw format. This enables comprehensive insight and better decision making through a single cohesive environment. It's connect with a different SAP system as well as with a non-SAP system like different databases, cloud services, as well as file format. File format supports like CSV, Excel, JSON, that all will support to integrate and load into the data sphere. Now we move to the demo where we are showcased that we are using S4 HANA as a source using CDS view and using the DataSphere application flow to load the S4 HANA to the non-SAP cloud platform using a replication flow. So this demo showcase the efficient data replication from S4 HANA to the Azure Data Lake, and it will support both like a full load as well as a delta load based on that CDS view, how the CDS view has been configured. So if CDS view supports the delta load, then this replication flow will support the delta load and it will generate the delta files on the Azure Data Lake. It will, so in this demo, we are taking the example of the sales data to load the sales data from S4 HANA to the Azure Data Lake using DataSphere. So I will showcase all the steps that to leverage the cloud capabilities while maintaining a data consistency across the platforms. So here we are dealing with the three platforms. First is the S4 HANA, which is our source. Second is the DataSphere, which is we are using the replication flow. And the third one and the target is Azure Data Lake, where we can load the data. So now I will go through the demo, which highlights all these replication steps and to load the data. So this is our SAP DataSphere screen in which we have options here for the data builder integration connection. So first we go to the connection to create our connection here. Now we go for the create connection. So here we have a, when we go for the choose connection type, we have a different option which is act as a filter, like for which purpose you want to create a connection, and accordingly it will filter out which connection right now your DataSphere version will support. So we have a data flows, model import, remote table, replication flow. So for our demo purpose, we go for the replication flow. So here right now we have a like a 12 connection types that is supported, which is SAP ABAP, Microsoft Azure Data Lake, Google BigQuery, Google Cloud Storage, SAP HANA Cloud Data Lake files, Amazon S3 Bucket, SAP S4 HANA Cloud, SAP S4 HANA On-Premise, and Apache Kafka and Confluent. So these are the connection that is supported for replication flow. So we choose Microsoft Azure Data Lake, and now we're providing the details for the Azure connection. So we have to provide our Azure Data Lake account name and the corresponding root path. Here we have three type of authentication: shared key, shared access signature, and OAuth 2.0. So depend on how your cloud platform has been configured and how they enable the securities for the external application like Azure or S3, Amazon S3, they have a way of implementation and implementing the security. So for our purposes, we are using shared access signature where we have to provide our secure token to establish the connection. In the Azure side, we provide this access to write a file into this into the location in the Azure Data Lake. We're just giving the name, business relevant name for our Azure data connection. So just we have to now click the create connection. It will create the connection into the DataSphere to connect with the Azure Data Lake. We already create a connection for the S4 HANA. Now we can validate the connection for the Azure. So just select the newly created connection and click the validate. It will saying it is a valid, and it will also show that it is enabled for data flows as well as for the replication flow. But this connection is not support the remote table. So how you create the connection, and based on that attributes of that connection that supported with the DataSphere, it will in the validation side it will mention that which feature it will support. Now we can again go to the data builder side where we can create our replication flow. So here we have a different option. So we select the new replication flow to load the data. Here now we have to first select the source connection. So we are using the S4 HANA as a source. So we use our S4 HANA, then we select the container. So here we are getting the like which type of source you want to use from the S4HANA, like as a CDS view or the BW extractor or SLT replications, if you have a SAP SLT available in your environment. So based on that, we can have a different options. Now for our demo, we are using the CDS view as a source. We select the CDS view. Now it will ask us like to select the which CDS view you want. For the one replication flow, it will support up to 150 CDS view into the one replication flow. So like based on your application, you can combine and bundle up your CDS view as a source to load the data. As we are using the sales data as a source, so we are using the sales and distribution folder, and correspondingly there we are selecting the as sales related CDS views. So here it will we get both the custom as well as the standard CDS view will be available, and based on that which CDS view you want, we have a filter also where you can filter out. Otherwise, you can go through with the list and drop down and select. So for the demo purpose, we are using the billing CDS view as well as the sales order item CDS view. So we are taking just two CDS view for our demo purpose. But we can select multiple CDS views here. So here also we can select which we want and add the selection into the replication flow. It will fetch all the metadata details as well as the attributes of the CDS view, that how it will work. So as it will show us the two CDS view come. Now we select the target connection that we recently created at Azure Data Lake. So we select our the newly created connection, and now we select the corresponding folder where you want to generate this file. So by default, it will create the same structure and with the same name in the target side. And also we have a load type option, initial and delta. So how you want to there. If it is a full load and you want to truncate the file, or so you can check this truncate checkbox option to make sure that if you don't want to make the history there. Otherwise, the second option is that in your target cloud platform, they will handle the data redundancies, and they will delete the files maybe based on the policies, like okay, hold the file for 1 week or 1 month or 3 months, depend on their policies. So we don't need to truncate it here. We can rename the target object. Like by default, it will suggest a source object name, but you can, if you want, based on the naming convention of the target system, you can change it. Sorry. Uh, Sorry
Abhishek,
for
are
the,
you?
yeah, somehow
Yes.
it's my video stop and it goes to the slide.
Dikshit, can you take over or somebody? Dikshit,
Dikshit is not running.
Dikshit, can you help, please?
Yeah, I'm here. Just a moment.
Abhishek, can you stop sharing and resharing again?
Yeah, I'm doing that.
So while this technical issue get resolved, I'll speak a little bit in some of the question answers on the chat. So there is a question how the data from the DataSphere to Google BigQuery is being interacted. I think Mahendra replied on that. We can use a replication flow for sending out of DataSphere, and that's the exact demo Abhishek is going to be presenting. In place of Google Query, it is going to be Azure platform where the data is going to be showing it to you. Azim, if you need any more clarification or question, feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to support.
Okay. So sorry for the interruption. Now you're able to see my screen.
Yes, Abhishek, it's
Yes,
good.
Abhishek.
Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can delete or add the CDS view also in the replication flow in the based on the requirement also. So we can save the replication flow by giving the relevant name. So it will save the replication flow. In the replication flow, we have options. The only the thing is the check is here. When it is saved successfully, you can also change the file formats and other thing that you generated in the target side. So now quickly I will showing the on the data Azure Data Lake side. This is a folder which we give for the our target system. Now we can deploy the replication flow. So it has been deployed. Now the replication flow is running. So by default, if you did not give the any schedule time, then it will run for every 30 minutes for the delta loads if it is a delta enabled. And we have a certain settings and properties here. Like for example, what is a file type it's available, like CSV, JSON file, or what is your delimiter, like a pipe, comma, colon. You want to enable the file header in the target side or not. How you want to group delta files. Like for example, it is by date, means like for every day one folder will be created into target side and it will keep generating the data. Or it is hourly folders. For example, you are loading data every 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Then based on the hours, you can generate the files. So it is a group delta by date or by hour. So this is all the target columns similar like as our source side. Here, there's a no transformation allowed because this replication flow is just for the replication of data from source to target. So here only we do not have a control to change or apply any formula right now. Now we can go to these tools where we can see our run details and the run log, how it is running. So here we give all the details will be available while running for the monitoring of our existing loading jobs. So our job is running with the replication flow started. It is executing right now. We have an option for pause or stop run as it is required for some time to pause for the delta loads. We can schedule it with the frequency. If we did not schedule anything, it is by default frequency is 30 minutes. So now our data load is finished. We can go to the Azure Data Lake now, and the folders that we selected, we see here as we load only the initial only. So initial folder has been created. If we're creating for the initial and delta, then after initial, there's another folder for the delta, and based by the group of the delta, hourly or daily or date, according the folders will be created. Now we go to our initial folder. Here we get three files, the success file and the metadata file and the data file, which contain the whole data. Now this success file is play a role for your further data integration to the from for example Azure Data Lake or S3 bucket. You want to load into the Snowflake or Redshift or some other places. So this file will act as a trigger, or it is successfully run. It means we can go for the further steps for the further integrations. So by default, it will generate all these files. Now we can download a data file and see the data examples. As we are selected the pipe delimiter, the the CSV file generated with the pipe as a data separator. So now this complete data has been there, the sales data that we are using the CDS view is generating into the Azure Data Lake. So that's from my side for Azure Data Lake to replication flow. Now I will switch over to the Narayan Verma. Narayan Verma, please continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek. Just sharing my screen. So, hi everyone. So in this section, I'm going to talk about some of the data discovery and AI capabilities within the data sphere. So how exactly it will add value and what are the benefits of these capabilities? As most of us are aware of the capabilities of AI and the futuristic solutions that AI can bring us. So that, but in the context of data sphere, particularly, what are these capabilities and how they can, bring in the value. So to make it, simple, some of the very important use cases, some of the important benefits, as you can see, it is the automated data provisioning. When we say this, like data provisioning is one of the key aspect of any data platform, any data analytics platform. So obviously, DataSphere being the SAP's flagship cloud data analytics platform, bringing data from different sources and bringing data in a more in a context of business and entity point of view, and giving the insights about the data and also streamlining the data flows. All that with the help of some of the AI capabilities, we can bring in more efficiently. In addition to that, the metadata management, as there is a data catalog capability, so that predominantly provides the metadata and the different data products, visibility of the different data products, including the data lineage and so on. So all this can be enhanced with the help of the AI capabilities, such as using the generative AI, the large language models. So how this is all enabled? Because SAP DataSphere is actually a component within SAP BTP, Business Technology Platform. So as you know, SAP BTP, the Business Technology Platform, has its own AI core and its own AI, generative AI hub, and also the vector engine, HANA Cloud Vector Engine. So SAP DataSphere runs on top of HANA Cloud. So obviously, the underlying capabilities of BTP and the HANA Cloud are available as in the DataSphere. So now we will focus on some of these tools and functionalities. So one of them is the data catalog. This data catalog is basically it addresses the metadata aspect of the data sphere. So particularly the AI capabilities, in the data catalog allows the users, means whether it is developers and so on, can explore the existing metadata with any natural language questions or any business friendly questions. By asking such questions, they can get the insights into the metadata, and also they can navigate from the all the way from the story SAC storage to the underlying data sources or underlying remote tables and so on. So that's how the search capabilities and repository capabilities and the data lineage all that is enabled with the help of this. So the two aspects of data catalog is like the administration of the data catalog, wherein the metadata will be extracted from the source systems, because here the metadata is not just limited to the data sphere, but it is actually we are talking about the one which is pulled from the underlying sources. In addition to that, the metadata can be classified and enriched so that it will form the repository core of the data catalog. So, and as other aspect is the using of the catalog. As a users of the catalog, we have the advantage of searching for any relevant entities using any natural language or even a business language. So you can understand how it looks like. This is a glimpse of how it looks like. So here, this is a data catalog, and wherein we can users can put any question and get the information or insights about different KPIs, different data products, data models, and so on. So for instance, here, if the user just gives a question about like, we want to see all the entities which are tied with sales order, you can put that question and that will bring up all the, relevant entities, where user can easily navigate. And some of this will also be provided in the demo later on. So then coming to the other feature, that is semantic onboarding. So onboarding here means bringing the data from the underlying sources to DataSphere. By semantic onboarding, it means that not just bringing the data as like a structure, the way we do it like BW extractors and SLT replication of tables, that is what we are aware of, that is what we have been using so far. But instead, you want to onboard the entire business entity. Like you want to onboard a material, which means it can have material descriptions, material groups, material sales data, plan data together as a business entity you want to onboard. So you want to also onboard with the semantics. You want to onboard the relationships. You want to onboard the different type of hierarchies, texts, and the business semantics. So this is the capability wherein the AI is used to pull the underlying semantics from the underlying sources like S4, on-prem, cloud, BW, and so on. So this is an capability wherein we can improve the productivity and improve the data visibility. So this is a glimpse of how it looks like in the semantic onboarding. So these are the different sources which are connected, and from any of these connected sources, where the model import capability is enabled. So the prerequisite here is the model import has to be enabled in the underlying source via the connection. And in such cases, it allows us to onboard the metadata using this capability. So these are the different types of entities from the underlying sources. Like if you are pulling from underlying S4HANA on-prem, CDS views can be the base for bringing the data via semantic onboarding. So here, this slide doesn't mean these are part of DataSphere. What I mean to say here is like this semantic onboarding uses these underlying entities to pull the data of into the DataSphere, metadata into the DataSphere. Similarly, there is another upcoming feature called knowledge graph, which is again it gives the underlying data relationships with different business related questions. User can pose business questions, and then automatically it will connect the dots behind the scenes using the large language model capabilities and bring the answers. For instance, you have already built some data models in the data warehouse. You created some stories in SAC on top of that, and you may be replicating data from a number of sources, or you may be federating data. So in the context, if a user goes and puts a question like identify the most effective promotions to boost the sales of slow moving products at the year end. So it's a kind of a business question wherein there are different entities. The promotions will be an entity, the sales is a KPI, the slow moving product is another entity, and so on. So looking at this question, the knowledge graph will kind of connect the dots connect the models behind, using the AI capabilities and bring the information, bring the insight onto the table. So you can imagine how it makes a difference compared to what we are used to in the earlier data platforms. So apart from that, there are these integrations. So SAP has collaborated or partnered with the various external AI tools, AI products, which brings in different value propositions. For instance, Colibra is a very prominent player in the AI governance space. So with the integration of this, AI models and AI governance will be achieved in our SAP BTP platform. Similarly, Data Robot is another company, another product, which caters to the automation of machine learning algorithms, so machine learning models. So we can implement or we can train the machine learning models in the data robot and consume the data of DataSphere. And once it is trained well, we can also bring it into the AI core of SAP. So this is the kind of integration. And then Confluent is another platform wherein the AI capabilities are used in the context of streaming the data, because that is specialized in streaming of the data. So these are all like real-time streaming capabilities, and at the same time applying the AI to generate insights, etc. So this is like kind of direction where SAP is growing. So I think this list will grow further. So, but just a glimpse of what is expected in future and what is excited we are, right. So with that, I just have another point to add here about the data discovery part. So here, data discovery is like for the end user, for the business users, how friendly the DataSphere platform and SAC is to address their ad hoc questions and also self-service capabilities. So how does the users are enabled with self-service capabilities, data exploration capabilities. So which we achieve by the help of Business Builder and DataSphere. Like Data Builder is for the developers to build the models. Business Builder is typically for the users to enable achieve the self-service analytics. So this is also something we have in the demo followed by this. So with this, I would like to summarize. These are the different capabilities, with respect to AI and how it's going to add the value by improving the productivity and improving the business insights that were previously not easily possible. So thank you, and with that I would like to hand over to Mahendra for the demo.
Thanks, Verma. Hi everyone. Now, as a part of the demo too, for the demo, we will be talking on we'll be seeing a demo on how we will how we'll have a real-time replication from S4 system into DataSphere and further dashboarding on top of the further dashboarding using SAC or self-service reports in the analysis for Office. So as we have seen in the business data fabric section that we can do a real-time replications from some of the source systems, which S4 is one of the source system. So that we can use to replicate data from S4 using the CDS extractors, and then get the real-time data into the DataSphere, build models as per the analytic needs, and then consume them in the SAC for story building or for in the analysis for Office for the self-service reports or some canned reports thing. So here, as a part of the demo, we will be using some of the manufacturing data, which has has some details on the orders and everything. Let's go down to the demo. So this is the home screen of the DataSphere that will look like, and as we just saw, Data Builder is the place where IT team will build all our models. So as a part of the demo, we will be using the manufacturing data for production order summary report for displaying the stats on the production order. So to understand how the data looks like, and along with some of the key stats on the quantities of late time and on time and everything that we will see shortly in the SAC story and along with analysis for Office report. So this is our final layered final reporting landscape view, and if we see a quick glimpse of the lineage, it will show how this final consumption view has been arrived at. So as we all, DataSphere follows the recommended layered architecture with base tables as in remote tables coming from S4 system as a remote tables into DataSphere, and followed by a inbound layer which are one-on-one mappings with remote tables, and harmonization layer where we will be integrating multiple transaction details or integrating transaction data with master data, and then we also have an additional propagation layer where we need some more harnessing of the data before we arrive at a consumption view. We can use a PL layer for consuming consuming our data propagation layer before coming into a consumption layer as a reporting layer. So if we also see some of the dependency analysis that will show how our data or a consumption view is dependent on different tables or different models at each level, and also it gives us a quick glimpse of how each layer is dependent. Each layer of the model at each layer is dependent on our uh, data or remote tables or tables in the DataSphere system. So now we will quickly see how we can replicate our CDS extractors into our DataSphere system. So as we have discussed, we can extract CDS extractors into we can replicate CDS extractors into DataSphere system uh, that are extraction enabled. If the CDS extractor in the source system is not extraction enabled, we cannot replicate that into our CDS or into the DataSphere system. So for extraction or for replication into our DataSphere system, the CDS extractor will have to be extraction enabled, be it a standard extractor or a custom extractor that we will be having. Here here we are replicating or we are seeing a remote table, which is sales stock delivery data. As we see from the description, it's ZV system. As we see, it is from the ZV system, ZV, which is like a custom CDS extractor that we have built, that we have used for that we have created for different business needs, where we can also see some of the other custom extractors that we have replicated into our system. So here we can see different spaces. Each space is used for different need. Like we can have one space for staging all our remote tables, and we can have all our layers. So for importing our remote tables, we will use a ABAP connection. The CDS extractors will be imported as an remote tables into DataSphere. We will use an ABAP connection, and that is connected to S4 system. And here we can select extractors. So as we have just said, we can replicate standard extractors or the custom extractors. The prerequisite is that it has to be extraction enabled. So for our needs, we have created a custom extractor, which we will be replicating into our DataSphere model. So as we can see, Z which says our custom models. As a practice in SAP, all our custom objects will start with Z objects. So we'll be using Z for as a naming convention in our S4 system, and I'll be searching the Z CDS extractors that I would like to extract. I can search here, or I can keep a scroll, and I can select whichever model I would like to import. So I have selected my sales order data. Since we have seen this is already available in our repository, it's saying that it is already there and it cannot be imported. And let me also check for any other model that I would like to import. I would like to import something like a production order, production header, or something like that. So like so the first and first this replication the replication technique that it will use is the DP agent is the replication tool that DataSphere uses for replicating into DataSphere, and it for in-house it builds or it follows the SD mechanism for bringing the real-time data into from S4 to DataSphere. So I'm just checking here my production order confirmation, production order header transaction data model that I would like to import into my DataSphere. And I just select and click next, and it's saying that it is also available in my DataSphere, so it's not allowing me to import. So I'll go back, and since it's already imported, let's see how we can how we can replicate the data from our S4 system to DataSphere. So while replicating, we have two methodologies that we would like to do. Like one is our we can enable real-time replication for all our transactions data along with master data too. But depending on the huge volume of data, there are some recommendations or best practices that are suggested by SAP. So this model is already replicated, and if we see, these are the columns or the fields that are available in the CDS extractors that are coming and coming as columns in our DataSphere table, and we can use this columns, whichever columns we would like to, in our further consumption, in our further layers of the models, where which field we would like to use. And under the remote, this is where we will do a data replication. Start data replication. It starts the data replication, and since this already there in the data is already being replicated in real-time mode, it is saying it gave us a warning that it's already there. Do you want me to do it again? So remove replicated data is where we will remove the replicate data. Enable real-time replication will allow us to replicate the data real time, and disable is somewhere we want, if we want to disable the real time replication, that will give us a facility to disable the real time replication for any given reason. So for now, I have disabled the real time replication and I have removed the replicated data from this particular table. And if I have to replicate the data again, I can just uh, start the replication by going to the remote and then start the replication. So as I was saying, that there were some recommendations that we that were SAP was recommending, provided how much data the source system is handling. So if the source system is having some huge data, it is always advised to do a snapshot replication. So when we do a start data replication, it will do a snapshot. So it will bring us whatever the data as is currently in from the source system to DataSphere, and that will get us a snapshot. And after that, we will enable the real-time replication into our DataSphere model. So we'll also get a small pop-up here that once, depending on what the status, whether the replication got completed successfully or it has got any other issue. So I'll also let's see another model which I would like to do a real-time replication. I'll open the production order item details model, which holds the itemized data for production orders. So here it has around 76 columns, and I will have to I can kind of start the data replication, or I can do an enable real-time replication. So I'll for now I will enable the real-time replication here, which will which will trigger the real-time replication from the S4 system into DataSphere. So while this replication is enabling, if we wanted to know what's the current status, it's saying that replicating the data, and the status we can see under the notifications in the top bell icon. So that's where all the notifications will be displayed, and all the or whichever is the status, whether it's a successfully completed or a failed, we can see them under the notifications uh, once it got finished, be it successful or a failure. And while the replication is happening, let's take a look at how we can schedule the replications. The scheduling the replications works mostly for snapshot models. So real-time replication is a real-time data. But for schedules is mainly for snapshotting. I can create a schedule for bringing batch mode, bringing the data from source system to DataSphere in the batch mode. So that's how I can create a schedule, and remove replicate data we already discussed, which will be used for removing a replicate data. So while replication is happening, let's check how, see here we have small pop-up saying that the replication has been completed, which means that my real-time replication has been completed for that particular production order itemized data. So now let me go to my final model, which is my production order manufacturing. So using these base tables, and on top of that I have my inbound layers, and then my consumption, I mean harmonized and propagation, and finally I arrived at the reporting layer, which is my production order summary report that has several in so several layer models in beneath them. So out of 279 models from the base models or from the dependent models, I have got some 35 objects that I wanted to use for my report, and I can do using the data preview option. I can have a quick glimpse of the data that I would like to see how it is coming, and if I need furthermore calculations, or if I need to restrict some data, filters, or if we have to do some additional joins to bring any other data, I can revisit my dependent models uh, below this, and then I can adjust the joins accordingly. So this is how we can replicate the data into our DataSphere from S4 system. Now we have replicated the data and we have built the models. Now let's see how we can create, or how we can consume this DataSphere data into our SAC. So I'm going into my SAC and I have a story that was already built using that particular production order model that we have just saw, which is production order summary data. As we can see, it is a same RL that we have seen in the DataSphere, which is the production order summary dashboard or a story. So where we can see different metrics. So depending on how we would like to visualize or display the data, we can use different widgets like pie chart, line chart, or we can use label notification labeled charts, or we can use bar charts, column graphs, and we can also use some of these tables for displaying detailed data into our story. So like which widget or which chart we would like to use is completely purely dependent on how we wanted to visualize our data. So according to our requirement, or according to our understanding of how we want to display our data, we can use a different widget into our storyboarding, into our story that displays data accordingly, how we adjusted our dimensions and KPIs into this particular table. So here on the left hand side, we can see now we in the SAC story, as a developer, we will have an option of edit and view. So far we by default the view, it will be in the view mode, and we can always go into the edit mode for doing any changes to the story. When I edit here, I can do some linked analytics where I can link one chart to another chart, or from summary chart to a detailed table. I can also edit filters. I can do display hidden display ID and descriptions, and I can also add some filters, modify some of the filters. I can also kind of do some cascading effects, sort the data. So all these features or modifying I can do. If I filters, I can edit the dashboard and add more filters. So there are different options that we have in our SAC story that we could see. So now I wanted to switch back to my view mode of the data, where I wanted to view the story in the view mode with just the display of the data. So I'm going to switch back to the view mode, which is now going from edit mode to the view mode. This loading the story. So as while this story is coming, this is all about this is something real-time data that is coming from S4 system to SAC via DataSphere. So all the data is completely real-time from S4. So now we are switching into our analysis for Office, where we can use DataSphere models or consume DataSphere models into analysis for Office for building some uh, quick reports. As we all know, we are all Excel savies, and we wanted to see our data more in a Excel sheet. So we analysis for Office is the best tool for seeing our data in the analysis or self-service capabilities in the Excel. So I'm searching here my production order summary report. While this is loading for consuming, and these are some of the variables that we can use, and since these are all optional, I'm just skipping and clicking OK to load the data. While this is coming, for using DataSphere on top of the DataSphere, we have to be on the analysis for Office version 2.8 and above. So which is when we'll have to use our we can use or consume our DataSphere models into analysis for office. So this is a quick layout where you can add more dimensions or measures depending on how we wanted to see the data, and we can do some slicing and dicing of all our production orders details into our kind of analysis for office report. So I can just add some of the dimensions into rows. I can remove some of the columns, some of the measures from the columns, and I can apply some of the filters. I can hide the rows or the subtotals. I can in the background filter I can apply some of the filters. So this is how we can replicate some of the data from S4 system to DataSphere. I hope, and I this is something we could do, and we have already implemented this in our one of our customer implementation. With that, let me hand it over to Tagore for taking further with the further sessions. Tagore, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Mahendra. That was really nice demo. Okay, thanks for that, and thank you everyone for joining the call. Basically, so I'll go with the third demo. Okay, this is in continuation with what Mahendra showed. The live connection of DataSphere data model to SAC, and this is using Gen AI feature that's called as Just Ask. Means like how you can post a question in the chat GPT and you get answer. Of course, that is not based on the model, but any question you ask in the chat GPT, it will provide you the kind of will try to provide you the right answer basically. So here in this case, the similar thing, but it is based on the data models, okay, that we have in the DataSphere. Okay, so it uses the Just Ask feature, uses the natural language querying. Okay, and we can connect the DataSphere data models as live through the live connection, and we can ask any question, and it will answer those questions. Okay, so and here in this demo, I'm going to show you the plant equipment services related to the plant maintenance information. Okay, so you can ask simpler complex questions, so it is going to answer, and not only like in a single line or two lines, but it is going to answer in most of the cases through the charts or pie charts, bar charts, the bubble charts. Okay, let me go on to the demo. So first I just want to show you my model, which is replicated the CDS view data into the DataSphere. So I'm logging into I logged into DataSphere and showing you my model actually. So that's called equipment service data. This model, we replicated a CDS view like how Mahendra showed, same way, and it is available in the DataSphere. And I used that equipment services CDS view in this data model. And now we can, you can see the details like machine ID, plant, maintenance ID. Okay, so all these are the dimensions, and there is labor cost and spare part cost. These are the two KPIs. Okay, so let us also see the data in this, the data available, and this data is for the 3 years, 2021 to 23. Okay, you can find the relevant dimensions like maintenance ID, machine ID, description, maintenance type, plant, labor cost, and spare part cost are the KPIs. And also you can also find the currency type in this. Okay, so now I switched on to my SAC. Okay, so home screen, you can see on the top right hand side, you can find a scintillating bulb. It's Just Ask feature. Okay, so just click on that. So here you can see a model icon. So where you need to add the model. As I mentioned, we are going to add a live model from the DataSphere, the model I just showed you. I'll select my DataSphere workspace in the SAC, and it will take you to the respective folder or the data model, and you type in the data model name, and you can select the data model. That is the equipment service data model. Yeah, so you have the model successfully added here, and you can see ask question. a question panel here. When you keep the cursor, it will suggest the dimensions, measures, and related objects. Okay, so what are the dimensions that are available and live from the DataSphere data model? These are the dimensions. Okay, you see, and you can also find the labor cost, spare per cost as measures. Okay, now you can type in the question and it will answer you. Okay, my first question is, what is the maintenance ID and labor cost for the machine ID PM301? So that model has this data. Okay, so it is going to show us as a bar chart. Okay, so as you see here, of course, this is a one line answer, but still it shows generally in the tabular format. And I'm moving on to next question. Show maintenance ID, machine ID, and also labor cost. Here I'm taking two dimensions on one measure, maintenance ID and machine ID, and also the labor cost. Okay, so actually this feature is introduced as part of the Q1 2024 release, okay, by SAP, the Just Ask feature. Yeah. So you see the bar chart where on the left hand side shows the maintenance ID, and on the top you can see the machine ID. Okay, whatever that you have PPM 20 and all that. And when you keep the cursor, it will show you the in the maintenance ID and the machine ID combination what is the cost. So here you can also see the data, in the tabular format as well. Get the detail if you want to see detailed in tabular format. Now let us go and try to find ranking. I mean, use the ranking feature as well. Okay, so like top 10 or top 5 or bottom 10 or bottom 5. Okay, so and also here you select the dimension that you need, that is a maintenance ID, dimension maintenance ID. I just want to see the top 10 in terms of the labor cost. So primarily it will be sorted based on the maintenance ID for the labor cost combination. So you can find these are the top 10. Similarly, we will also see the bottom 5 or top 5 labor cost. Yeah, these are the top 5 in terms of the labor cost, the maintenance ID and machine ID combination. Okay. Yeah, so let me just move on to my next question. That is, which plant has the highest labor cost? Which plant has the highest labor cost? And this uses natural language processing, as I mentioned. It queries the data in the natural language, and it supports both the imported and live models. Okay, so you see the output here. The highest labor cost is for the plant 3000, that is $16,287. Okay. Okay, so let me move on to my next question. What are the maintenance ID and labor cost for the preventive maintenance type? So here, so far we talked about maintenance type as a dimension, but we can also take the values in the KPI list, or else the values from the dimension, dimension values, and you can display the data. So here I'm taking the maintenance type. One of the type is a preventive maintenance type. Okay, so what is the maintenance? What is the maintenance and maintenance ID and labor cost for the preventive maintenance type? Yeah, so here without writing any code, or without writing, without building a separate dashboard, okay, we are, system is able to answer this in the that also in the form of a visualization chart dashboard basically. Okay, so you see maintenance ID, maintenance type is a preventive type, and what is the labor cost for those combination. So here SAC automatically generates the graphs, charts, tables, and all that. Okay, and user can interact with these visualizations for a deeper analysis. Okay, so user, it's kind of, I say, kind of self-service analytics, where user has a data model and the DataSphere data model. Okay, and he can query on the top of the data model, and he can get that. So for that, you don't need any technical expertise to build the DataSphere data model. Okay, so this is the total emergency labor cost at the plant 3000 with the currency types. Okay, so this is, and as I mentioned, this is for the almost 3 years data. So that's how you find a little bit higher side some of the values. So I'm moving on to my next question. Maintenance type by spare parts cost, labor cost. Okay, so what is the by maintenance type? You just want to see spare parts and labor cost. So here I'm taking one dimension and two measures into consideration. Okay, now you see the output in the form of a bubble chart. Okay, so you can see three maintenance types: preventive, corrective, and emergency. And you can find, when you keep the cursor, you can find, okay, so what is the spare parts cost and the labor cost for this? Okay, and we move on to my next question. What is the total cost at the total labor cost at the plant 3100? Okay, so there are multiple plants. 3100 is one of the plants. What is the total labor cost? So this is a straightforward number. So that's how you see here. Yeah, this is a $9,747 basically. And next question is, show all the machine ID having labor cost more than $200 for the plant 3100. So here I'm including the condition that based on the KPI that labor cost more than 200. Okay, so I just want to see, and that also for the particular plant 3100. Yeah, you can see that the machine ID on the y-axis, and also you can see the condition that labor cost should be more than 200. Okay, so you can just keep the cursor and find that those respective values. So in general, it takes some time for the technical person to build these dashboards. That's how Justas is giving, this feature is giving, this application is giving these advanced features where the end user can type in the question and get the answer in terms of in the form of a chart. Okay, any type of chart actually. Now what is the labor cost among all the plants in percentage? Okay, so when you talk about percentage by default, okay, we get the answer in the form of a pie chart. Okay, where you keep the cursor on the any of the pies, so you get the respective answer. Like this is for the labor cost for each of these plants basically. Okay, this totally constitutes 100%. Okay, and also you can ask the same question with the bar chart. It can also show the bar chart, but being a percentage, it shows in the pie chart by default. And what is the labor cost and spare part cost for the plant 3000? Okay, here you can also specify for any question, you can specify either a pie chart or bar chart. Okay, otherwise by default, whichever the chart shows, the application shows the results in that chart. Yeah, you can see, and here in this case, you can drag and drop the labor cost to spare part cost, and you can find that how much percentage the spare part cost is higher than the labor cost, and also by what number. That is $47,413 higher than the labor cost. Okay, so this kind of a quick comparison also can be done and can be highlighted in this. Yeah, so like this, without the end user having the required to have the technical knowledge, he can build these dashboards quickly, and that also on the top of the DataSphere data models with the live connection. Here I am typing another question basically. What are the maintenance ID for the machine ID CM605? Where maintenance type emergency for the plant 3000. Okay, so yeah, these kind of simpler as well as complex questions can be answered. Okay, so having your data model available in the DataSphere gives you additional advantage of enhancing it there, and you don't need to import it to the SAC every time. Okay, so that's the additional advantage we have here basically. Okay. Yeah, this is easy to use interface, okay, for the business as well as for the end users, so they can quickly type in the question and get the answer. okay, without having the data model available in the SAC. Okay, and that is nothing but a live data model in the DataSphere. Okay, so I'm done with demo. Okay, so then I am proceeding with the next topic, that is analytics integration with reporting and dashboards. It is nothing but the DataSphere analytics. Okay, so DataSphere, how you can integrate this with the visualization tools. Okay, so like SAP, the analysis for office, AFO, and next is second one is SAC, third one is external reporting tools. So first, let us talk about how this integration, the DataSphere integration with these reporting tools, boost data analytics. First is AFO, so where the analysis for office, you can easily connect with the DataSphere and you can do all kind of reporting. Okay, that SAP, any of SAP systems, you can be easily integrated with the AFO. Okay, and also same is with the DataSphere with the AFO. And when it comes to data preparation, business users can leverage SAP DataSphere to prepare and transform data before bringing it to the into SAP analysis for office. Okay, I mean here analysis for office. Okay, so before bringing into that, they can transform and they can model the data. Okay, they can do all that, and this includes data cleansing, and you can do enrichment, you can do aggregation, and make sure that so that you can ensure data quality and suitability for the business analysis. And also it supports 100% the real-time analytics. Okay, on the top of the data model that you built in DataSphere, you can do a live reporting in the AFO. In the previous demo, Mahendra showed that. Okay, so you can play around like how you can do with any other tool using the AFO basically. So it is very dynamic and the real-time reporting is possible with this. The next is SAC. Okay, so the DataSphere and SAC being SAP cloud tools. Okay, so they can be easily integrated. Okay, and that easily integrated without losing the data integrity or the data model integrity that is built in the DataSphere. Okay, so you can get the data into the SAC, okay, from the DataSphere, and whatever the modeling that you have done in the DataSphere, that can be kept intact. Okay, as I showed you in the demo. So whether whether the data is coming from the S4 to DataSphere or from different sources to the DataSphere, all the data integration, what you taken care by modeling and doing the right kind of rules, inception of the data model. Okay, all those things will be imbibed into the SAC, so that all those relationships between the data and the complex data model or calculations that you did, they are kept intact, and you can create dashboards in the SAC. Okay, and as far as advanced analytics are concerned with for SAC, so that there are predictive analytics, machine learning, and statistical functions, regression analysis. So these are advanced analytics, and also I just showed the just ask feature as well. And there are additional AI ML features that are available in the SAC, so that you can easily report on the top of the data that the complex data model, the modeling you did in the DataSphere, and you build the complex data. So that is available in the you can do that reporting and dashboard in the SAC. Then external reporting, when it comes to external reporting, it integrates, DataSphere integrates with how it integrates with SAC and AFO. Similarly, it can integrate with the real-time data, external reporting tools like Power BI, Tableau, or ClickSense. Same, like you can do the same real-time reporting like how you did with SAC for data visualizations and detailed reporting. And also if you have a data from multiple sources, SAP and non-SAP in the DataSphere, so all that data integration can be kept intact without losing the relationships or without losing the calculations or transformation we did. Okay, and collaboration of the whatever the reports that you created in the DataSphere, so those all can be collaborated using these external reporting tools, even though you built those reports on the top of the DataSphere models. Yeah, so that's what I'm done for the the slides for now. Praveen, you can take over, please.
Thank you, Tagore. It is one of our customers, early adapters for DataSphere, Haynes Brands. It's a bigger brand known. We would like to share the case study slash the story with you guys and some of the lessons learned. So every big organization digital transformation journey is started in the last few years, and it's very important. So DataSphere is part of the digital transformation journey when they're starting their S4 program in the Haynes brand. So data and analytics is not just an IT initiative. It's a key enabler for the overall transformation. And some of your companies going through a digital transformation, you need to have a powerful analytics platform that gives you a flexibility to adapt and innovate very quickly. So SAP DataSphere is more than the traditional data warehouse. You have seen some of these demos uh, with the flexibility, agility, and the cloud capabilities. So look at the quote I have received. It's a very happy to receive that kind of feedback slash quote from the customers. We have implemented the SAP DataSphere. I'll give a little pause here. I'll let you guys read on it. So we have finished a very successful implementation for DataSphere within 9 months with the 65 reports live and 35 interfaces, real-time data warehouse. So that was a quite a bit good success story with the DataSphere. We do have more information available online. Happy to share the link and more details if you would like to know more about the journey. Now, any particular environment, there are many steps to consider to keep in mind in a proper sequence to set up an environment correctly. So just sharing few high-level steps, that's very important to set up. So while the steps are listed in the documentation or how to, we faces some challenges and learn few lessons while doing that. Tagore, stay on that slide, please. The Rise platform is something what we have used to host the DataSphere, and there are some challenges to troubleshoot the log processes initially the connections. I'm talking at least 18 months to 24 months before when we started the journey to the customer. So a lot of difficulties with the opening the SAP messages and going through. So just wanted to share connecting to the right system is something we need to pre-plan and timely make sure when you are setting up environment, keep the time into the bucket to do that. Some of the challenges I would like to share as a lessons learned with this is some of the IPs and ports and firewall issues while setting up the environment also with the DataSphere. It does have a lot of capabilities. The number of connections and openness to integrate with the systems is pretty well done. What we use is a DP agent to replication data from some of the source systems like from the MDG and from the S4 systems into the Haynes journey. Next slide, please. So back in the days, we have always get a people from the business and asking into the BW world. Hence, do have a BW legacy system, and then they wanted to ask when this data is going to be replicated. What's the batch process? What's the batch update? With the DataSphere, it is bringing us a cool stuff like a lot of data federation at the real time, and that's a big wow factor. So their BW system was first set up in 2008 and then moved to the HANA in 2015. And then once we are going through the journey of DataSphere, that's really cool. And then finance users and some of the other business users are really happy about that. The real-time fact and the faster development cycles. A lot of neat graphical modeling capabilities is another breeze to that because you're not staging the data at the multiple DSO layers like in a classical BW world is really a nice journey with that. And then talking about some squeezing some data like material valuation data based on around 40 million records are taking about 5 gig of the space and taking 2-3 hours to load the data. It crunched down to 0.5 gig and then load under 10-15 minutes. It's a very good data performance for the HANA perspective. What we have trying to do some of the prototyping to see what the sizing and optimization is working. So these are some lessons learned. Because time is very limited, I would love to talk about this topic maybe in full hour, but that's what we would like to share in short over here for our journey. So some of the takeaways from the implementation projects. So we have utilized the layered scalable architecture like in BW world. It's not staging every layer of the data like I said, but we are using different RL layers, HL layers for the classical HANA modeling. We want to make sure the changes and integrations are the key factor. Flexibility to convert the remote tables into the snapshot in the real time is another key. Some of the performance, like with the large tables, we have used that to facilitate and optimize a sub-second performance to the reporting to the business users. Business Builder is now changed. Earlier, it was a part of the data warehouse cloud, but the main front-end tool we are using in the Haynes brand is Analysis for Office and SAC. SAC adoption is keep increasing across the board with but a lot of business users are trying to do their agile and self-serve reports by using the SAC. And one last point I would like to discuss is a BW Bridge. There are some myths about the BW Bridge, and there are more questions in the mind. BW Bridge is nothing but there is a space into the data sphere. It is like a BW for HANA minus BEX queries, and you can take an advantage if you wanted to use like HANA. You can definitely skip purchasing the BW Bridge, but I would say for migration perspective and for the BW capability perspective, where you are thinking about business object based like info object based modeling or the DSO or cross-functional capabilities, you can consider. So it's a fantastic capability to have along with the DataSphere inside that. We have used in the Haynes brand for some of the inventory type of scenarios. Now in this slide, there is a detailed case studies. If you would like to refer it, please scan the QR code and it will take you. Very soon we will be publishing more details around the Haynes in our website too. Next slide, please. So Tagore will cover some of the upcoming offerings with the tech link. So over to you, Tagore, please.
Yeah, thanks, Praveen. Yeah. So now we'll go over what are the tech links offerings, like what are the free assessment, training workshops, and DataSphere pilot programs that we are offering basically. So this is a tech link overview. Okay, so we are analytics and global business planning service provider, and established in 2003, and we just we are kind of SAP Gold partner, recognized for some of the expertises, and we deal with data warehousing, data visualization, big data analytics, enterprise planning, trade management, advisory services, so and also the application maintenance services. And this is the DataSphere offerings. So what are the service offerings now we have on the DataSphere? Basically, on the roadmap side, we help in roadmap assessment like advisory and your modernization journey. So helping you on the assessment, okay, and interoperability based on what kind of systems you have, basically SAP, non-SAP, and what other different SAP systems you have it, and how you can take forward your journey to DataSphere. And we also help you with upgrades, migration, all that on the assessment side. And when it comes to data end-to-end enablement for the DataSphere, so we are done the kind of implementation at the Haynes. So we have that rich experience. We can also help you with the change management, testing, support, and integration with the different SAP, non-SAP systems for the DataSphere. So we can help you there. And currently we deal with these are all the different DW platforms in the SAP we deal with, but their integration with DataSphere also we are very good at. Okay, that way you're transforming your journey from BW to the DataSphere, or BW for HANA to DataSphere, on HANA to DataSphere. So we can help you with that. We have some special offerings which I will talk about further. And when it comes to visualizations, we discussed, and we showed a couple of demos also. On the SAC, we have a couple of dashboards that we already have in the SAP store, like sales effectiveness dashboards and procurement analytics dashboards. They're available in the SAP store. If anyone want to have a demo and want to implement, please feel free to write to us so we can show you the demos. So they are available in our labs basically. Okay, and as far as the visualization is concerned, with the business objects, and also with the SAP, non-SAP tools, okay, how like you can leverage the DataSphere capabilities there. Okay, so these are the at high level, these are DataSphere offerings. When it comes to analytics offerings, like apart from DataSphere, what else we do? We do advanced analytics like big data and data science as well in the SAP landscape, and also IoT, ML, and predictive analytics as well. We are good at. And as far as advisory services concerned, like apart from the DataSphere advisory services, like your analytics strategy and roadmap, your value analysis, okay, and TCO and approach for technical technology, your technology and approach. Okay, so we help all these, in the like non-DataSphere part of the SAP. Okay, we help on this. And apart from that, we are known for the AMS services in the overall SAP landscape, and also in the DataSphere also we are doing that. After the Heinz implementation, we are doing even the application maintenance support as well for them currently.
So overall, for your BW modernization success, customers here on the call, you guys can reach out to us for your assessment of the system that we can offer. Depends how complex is your system. You can leverage our services. Some of them are completely free offerings. We are offering a training program that is upcoming in the Tide. We are running TechLink Innovation Day in the month of September, where we will be having 2 dates in the Chicago region. You can attend an in-person, and it's a full day training program on the DataSphere. It's a complimentary. Please join us for that. If you are interested to do some of the pilot programs for SAP DataSphere, for an adoption, there are different cloud services available to you that you can take an advantage for. SAP, Tagore, can you page down the slides? One more, please. Yeah, so SAP is giving very low cost DataSphere available for the pilot programs that you can take an advantage. It's on the Google Cloud. It's very nominal for 8 months. You can experience your modernization journey with the DataSphere by taking advantage. TechLink is one of their key partners, so we can provide all the implementation supports for that. That promotion is going on. So with the time check right now, I think we are at the 5-minute clock or 7-minute clock. Would like to share some of the question answers with the team. So Vishwa, who is our architect, and the other teams, we are trying to take some questions. So we have few questions that would like to go over quickly, and then would like to take some question answer from the question answer session. So Tagore, would you like to run the slide for question answer, please?
Yeah. So can I integrate DataSphere with non-SAP data sources? Yes, DataSphere is designed to integrate, you can seamlessly integrate with various data sources, whether SAP or non-SAP, by leveraging the unified platform for comprehensive data management and analytics. Yes, you can do it. So next question, SAP DataSphere is purely federated or still requires persistent data in the cloud data model when combining different data sources for analytics. Yeah, so SAP DataSphere follows a federation first approach. Basically, means you leave data where it resides, and you can build your models, and later on you can decide whether you want to replicate the full tables, or you want to proceed with the the data federation approach, basically. And you can create views persistence to create persistence views to cater to this for a source system workload. Okay, so to avoid source system workload, you can create persistence views, and a performance and all things. Still you can have a very good performance with that. Yeah, proceed with the next question. How does the data security you can compare between the on-premise BW and DataSphere? Like when you compare these two, how this data security is kind of configured. Yes, DataSphere offers robust cloud security measures, basically, and also there is a data inscription, okay, in the transit and at the rest. Okay, so that helps you against all odds of the security. And compliance with the various international standards like GDPR, like what are the standards we have it. Okay, so the security part also takes care of that as well.
Vishwa, you want to take a couple questions, or there is a hand raised by Hasmatullah, I think so. There is a question, guys. Am I Hasmatullah? You raised the hand. Would you like to ask a question? I saw raise hand, maybe my mistake.
Yeah. So how will this affect our current ETL process? I mean, when you switch to DataSphere, okay. So like you have opportunity to modernize and streamline your data flows. Okay, that is the one opportunity. You can use native cloud ETL tools, okay, that are available in DataSphere. Like when we were comparing BW for HANA DataSphere, this also came up, and it will help you giving you the potential for real-time data integration. Okay, so the DataSphere ETL will help you in real-time data integration easily.
Dikshit, Hasmatullah is saying the microphone is muted. He would like to ask a question. Can you unmute, please? Is it possible?
Hi, Praveen. I have answered the question related to the data lineage raised by Hasmatullah.
Okay.
I think it's the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Verma. I just want to make sure we answered and take care. Okay, I understood.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so please.
What kind of performance can we expect compared to our current BW system? So yes, we can definitely expect a very good performance. This being a cloud where you can scale up, and often it definitely improves, okay, because of the cloud infrastructure and in-memory processing, because the underlying database is HANA. Though it is in the cloud, the underlying database is HANA. Okay, and also for complex queries, you may need a performance optimization, but definitely DataSphere gives you're building the queries in the DataSphere models will definitely give you a better performance. And the scalability of the cloud application, DataSphere application, gives you a better handling of the peak loads. Okay, so it will give you opportunity to like it will give you the better handling of the peak loads, basically.
So I think, Tagore, we have a couple minutes left. Do we need to, guys? I've seen some of the questions that may not be answered yet, but we definitely follow up and publish all of these question and answer. I would like to take the last minute to thank you all for joining our call in